How's it going, YouTube? Dan the Plastic Man here. I hope you guys are doing well. So I just got done watching episode 28 of Iron-Blooded Orphans, Battle Before Dawn. Watched it twice, just to let the shock effect of seeing certain things happen wear off. Now, as this is Plastic Reflects, I will not be giving any major details. This is not a synopsis. These are my reflections on the episode. I will do my very best to stay away from major spoilers. I will give tiny ones, though. So that is your spoiler warning. Nothing major will be spoiled. That is a promise. So the episode opened up with a slight recap of what's happened so far with Iron-Blooded Orphans Season 2. Just talking about how the Dawn Horizon Corps attacked Cadelia's mining facility that she was giving a tour of. And then went on to show Cadelia, along with Cookie and Cracker, running around the farm where they're trying to keep her safe right now until the Dawn Horizon Corps is taken care of. Trying to think here. The second half of the episode really was intense, so the first half is a little difficult to remember. But we're already up in space. Because reasons, apparently. They must have gone up to meet up with the fleet that was bringing the Gujin and the rest of the Shidans with them, and must have decided that they needed to check out the Dawn Horizon themselves. Well, actually, no, wait a minute. I remember now. It's because Gjallarhorn set up a meeting. So, I'm not going to tell you the results of that meeting, but we are introduced to a couple new characters, and they seem okay. They're not entirely on the level, but they seem okay. We find out that McGillis is a brigadier general now, so it's only a one-star general, but he's making his way up the ranks. So there's a piece of excuse me, guys. Yeah. The Gjallarhorn meeting returns a piece of information that basically convinces everybody to make a run on Dawn Horizon's fleet, or this mini-fleet that they found. The reason they were going to make a run on it is because the Dawn Horizon leader is there. He's in that fleet, so crush the head of the snake, capture him, whatever you want to call it. I always thought the relationship between Orga and Meribit was interesting, if not somewhat one-sided. I think those days are starting to come to a close, just based on the interaction that is starting to happen again between Orga and Meribit. So, they make their run on the fleet, and things get really interesting. This is where it's going to be hardest for me to not play spoiler. But we again get to see Shino and his team out in their Shidans, Laughter and Ozzy flying out in some Shidans, showing that they've still got it, keeping their eyes on some of the guys. And I would have to say the main star of this episode is not Lupus, even though he does get quite a bit of play. It's the Rebake Full City. As we saw from the previews from last episode for what today's episode was going to be, he launched Full City, quad-wielding those long rifles, and just turned himself into a turret. Yeah, that happened. And, oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera. So fun watching him take names. But something else interesting happened. We finally find out what is going on with the shield on the back of the full city. Yet again, a weapon I've not seen in the Gundam franchise. So we've basically got the second half of the episode is nothing but a huge space fight between Tekkadan and Dawn Horizon. We finally get to know what the name of these roadie suits are. They're Garm roadies, not spinner roadies. They're called Garm roadies. And then near the end, after the Garm roadies prove mostly ineffective against the Gundams and the Shidens, a couple Yugos pop up. Hugos, I can't remember. But I know that Hugo is... the two suits that show up are pretty darn nasty. They're capable pilots. Later, though, Sandoval Reuters, the leader of the Dawn Horizon, he launches in his Hugo. That's the high grade that we're getting ready to get. And he's beast. He is absolutely beast. I don't see how the suit could work on terra firma at all, but for a space-only combat suit, yeah, it's nasty. And then those the swords on the back that make it look like a solid gear when it's put together. Yep. And let's see, we get to see a little more interaction between Eok and Julieta. Apparently she's kind of his bodyguard or something. And we get to see both of their region lasers. Though, at about this time, by the time we see them, the episode is nearing its close. So, when Julieta finally does make her appearance known, what is she doing? She's causing the cliffhanger ending by getting in Mika's way as he's trying to have a little mix-up with Sandoval. This episode is just so hard to not spoil anything. That's why I've been dancing around just lightly giving reflections. So, all in all, amazing episode. But then again, I am a very huge Iron-Blooded Orphans fan. Oh, we get to hear Mr. Mask talk, because they cut to the fleet of basically the fleet where the Vidar is being built or reconstructed, whatever you want to call it. Where a certain character that Shoki and I have an interesting little bit going on. We finally get to hear him talk, guys. And through the metallic tone of the mask, I'm not claiming victory just yet, but the certainty that it's Gaelio is about 98%. Especially with the way they're talking about the character, and with how the last line you hear from him is, "McGillis, I'm coming for you." So, that just about cements it in my mind. So we either need him to be named, or we need him to take his mask off, and I will have won a 1-to-100 scale Vidar from Shoki. Now, I will say, he has already told me that if it turns out to not be Gaelio and I am completely and utterly wrong, he will have won a double Zeta 2 high grade. But the way things are going right now, Shoki, I don't think that's happening. So, I'm going to call this episode here, guys. I mean, really hard to give spoiler-free reactions to huge space fights, and there's just so many tricks they pull that I can't spoil any of it for you. Go to Daisuke, go to Crunchyroll, watch the episode. I'll put a link to Daisuke in the description of the video. Take care of yourselves, guys, and let's keep the community growing. We're doing so well, it's not even funny. Looks like I'm still praying and hoping that we're going to hit 500 by Halloween. 3 big prizes that I want... Well, prizes slash surprises that I want to do for you guys. So, excuse me, let's make it happen. So take care of yourselves, guys. I'll talk to you at the next video. Bye-bye.